What's poppin'? Welcome back to Midwest Talks Basketball. We here, top of the morning. It's Monday. I know. Man, Monday. So, hopefully we get through this week smooth. No issues, man. Go to work, lock in, knock it out. You know what I'm saying? Day at a time. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully y'all got a release. You know what I mean? Some sort of hobby to take your mind off work. You know what I mean? So, let's get it. I was trying to do this topic Friday, but I was having technical issues, man, like about Spoelstra. But then I'm like, let me talk about Vince. So I'm like, we gonna do this Monday morning. I mean, it's not like this is some pressing news, but I still want to talk about it. So Eric Spoelstra has now replaced Steve Kerr as the head coach of Team USA. Look here, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. I mean, Spoelstra proved and shown that he's one of the best coaches of all time, literally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know he got the 2 championships with Miami, but the thing is this. What he's done to show what he can, like, you give him whatever hand that you give him, cards, he know how to play it right. You know what I'm saying? And it don't have to be the most talented, because the 2 finals appearances he went with Jimmy Butler and Bam and them, they wasn't the, skill-wise, they was not the best team in the league, not even close. But he got to the finals twice with them. Obviously, it's due to the players' play, but it's also due to his coaching. Spoelstra's one of the best, man. Like, period, point blank. And Steve Kerr, there's questions with his coaching ability, man, because of who he got. Like, you can get away with a lot of things when you had 2 of the greatest shooters of all time on your roster. Like, you know what I mean? Steph Curry, alien, okay? Steph Curry's one of the greatest shooters of all time. Steph Curry get away with a lot of stuff because of shooting ability. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? And he works on that shooting ability. He's if not the best shooter ever, but I think he's the best shooter ever. Yeah. Klay Thompson right there next to him. Klay Thompson, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, when broken plays, all kind of stuff get rectified when them 2 out there on the floor. So all you gotta do is shoot it, and they make it for the most part. You understand what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's hard to defend stuff like that. You know what I mean? So we haven't really seen Steve Kerr really coach a team like how Tyronn Lue or Spoelstra does. Now, Ty Lue only been to the finals with Bron. You know what I'm saying? We know that. But we've seen how good Tyronn Lue can coach as well. I think Tyronn Lue is an underrated coach, man, 100%. You know what I mean? You can question Greg Popovich almost, if you look at it. Now, we're going to talk about that, actually, because I think there's certain styles of coaches like the Phil Jacksons, the Greg Popoviches. I think Larry Brown is a great coach as well, you know what I'm saying? But the thing is this. You got coaches who can coach just decent players and talented players. They don't necessarily need the best, right? You got coaches like that. But then you have coaches like, your Phil Jacksons and Greg Popoviches who can coach stars on their team. To say what you want to say about the Spurs, those guys are stars. Parker a star, Ginobili a star, Duncan a star, Robinson a star. You know what I'm saying? Greg Popovich knew how to coach those. You need a certain kind of coach for those kind of players. You know what I'm saying? Phil Jackson, Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen, you know what I mean? Rodman and them, You need a certain type of coach for certain type of... You may have coaches that... Now, Spoelstra's shown he can do both. Spoelstra's shown he can coach the stars, and he can coach, or the superstars, and he can coach just, talented guys that may not be superstars, but, they get it in, you know what I mean? You got to give them something to work with. That's what I'm trying to say here. So you can't just give them players that's not really cut like that. You got to at least give him a little something to work with. He can make something happen, like Rick Carlisle, you know what I mean? So I almost feel like, me personally, due to the fact that there will be times you got to rebuild, okay? You know what I'm saying? You might actually get in a situation to where, you got a couple stars on your team and you always in talks for the championship. That may happen, but then guess what happens? After a while, you got to pay both of those guys. things like that. Somebody may get hurt, all that type of stuff. It's very seldom you actually get a team like that. So, I want a coach that know how to coach any and every player, any style. That's what I want, actually. You know what I mean? So the thing is, I'm going to always go for a Rick Carlisle, a Eric Spoelstra, a Ty Lue kind of guy. Larry Brown don't like young players, so I wouldn't really want him because he's not going to build my rookies up. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always going to go for those kind of coaches. Those are the coaches I like the most. There's nothing wrong with a Phil Jackson. You know what I mean? Because they can handle the stars. You know what I'm saying? Popovich and them. You know what I mean? But I want somebody that can handle both. So Spoelstra, congratulations to him. You know what I mean? Word up. I definitely think that he can man that position for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? Because he's only 54. You know what I mean? So he as long as his health is straight and everything like that, no tragedies happen and like that, I think he can man that position for a long time. Another thing about coaching, before we get to Vince, when it comes to coaching, you got to know how to be able to coach, different type of personalities, man. That's why a lot of coaches that's in the collegiate level, they say, oh, how come he go to the NBA? Well, the thing is this. A lot of times they don't know how to talk to grown men. They don't know how to talk to grown men, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be able to address people differently. Like, the thing is this, right? When I was running kitchens, I had to learn how to address, certain situations and certain people differently because that's how you get the best out of them. You know what I mean? I can never play for a guy like Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight, he did that in the collegiate level. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't doing that in the NBA, the stuff he was doing. Like Bobby Knight, though he was looked at as one of the better coaches, you know what I'm saying? To my understanding, you know what I mean? There's no way, you know what I mean? You about to sit there and be violating me and getting physical with me. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we grown men. You not about to do all. I seen him headbutt my man's on the side. Nah. Bobby Knight be picking himself up off the court, and it is what it is. There's no way that's going to happen. You're not about to violate my manhood because you holding an opportunity over my head. That's what them coaches do. You see, Nick Saban didn't even want to continue on coaching college football because the players was getting paid because he feel like, I can't control. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dog, like there's no way. Nah. So you not going over to the NBA with them type of tactics because you're going to get hands put on you. You look at the coach that Sprewell choked. His name is PJ. I forgot the last name. I know the last name. I can't pronounce it. The Warriors, those players, when I listen to Brian Shaw talk about that, they didn't sound like they had a problem with it. Because you're not about to be violating just because, and a lot of times these coaches and stuff, they get a little too much dip on their chips. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is this, you acting this way because I have a contract. It's hard to get here. So you feel like you can do, you know what I mean? Like do whatever. So my thing is this, if I'm the owner of the team, right? I want to privately watch these practices without them knowing because I want to see if my players is being respected and if my coach is being respected. Vice versa. It works both ways. You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this, you have to be able to be coached, but you also have to respect people as men too. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, buts in betweens. You know what I mean? If somebody not doing their job, I expect you to handle that situation accordingly. Okay, you not working hard like that, hit these suicides. You not playing hard, you not giving effort. Okay, I'm cutting your minutes. I'm putting you in place. I think that's a respectable way to handle things. But as far as, denigrating somebody's manhood, all kind of stuff, you know what I mean? We not doing that. But you dealing with humans, so yeah, it's easy to say not to do it, you know what I'm saying? But if I catch it, it's going to be a problem on either side, you know what I mean? On either side, because it's all about respect here. Everybody don't got to like each other, but folks got to be respected. People got wives, kids, all kind of stuff, you know what I mean? You're not going to talk. No, we're not doing that at all, not on my team. And that goes to everybody. I'm going to respect everybody, respect the coach, the players. If you handle your business, big salute. If you not, then we handle that accordingly. But I'm not going to violate you. I'm not going to violate you because we men at the end of the day, and there's consequences to violating people. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. Big salute to Eric Spoelstra, all right, for being the Team USA coach. I think he'll do a great job. You know, he'll definitely find minutes for Jason Tatum. You know what I'm saying? You know, he'll find minutes for everybody on the floor. You know what I'm saying? So big salute. Next up, man, Vince Carter. Vince Carter, man. Vince Carter was supposed to be one of the greatest basketball players that ever played the game. I feel like Vince Carter should have been one of the best basketball players to ever play the game. I mean, you know, we talk about how artsy Michael Jordan's game looked, how beautiful. Look, man, Vince Carter in the air, there's nobody that looked like Vincent. Vince Carter is the greatest dunker of all time. I mean, period. Like, you know what I'm saying? He made it look so easy and so smooth. I mean, it was like majestic. I mean, like Vince's dunks, even the power dunks, was smooth. Vince, and the thing is, Vince can do everything. But the knock on him is people say he was lazy. You know what I'm saying? That's the knock on him. Say he quit in Toronto, you know what I'm saying, and went to New Jersey. It was like, and after Toronto, his career kind of slowly went down, actually. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go up. It slowly went down when he was in New Jersey. And then he done played for a lot of teams, you know what I'm saying? But Vince should have been one of the best to do it, because if you look at him, right, even late in his career, he could shoot the three well, shoot the midi well. His handle wasn't terrible. It was definitely pretty good. It wasn't no better than like Kobe Bryant's or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, he wasn't no defender or nothing like that. But that's something that could have been learned. And because a lot of times defense is effort. Defense is effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, trying to stay in front of your man and just, you know, trying to like contest things. Because a lot of people look at defense as steals and block shots. If you can stop somebody from getting to where they want to go, if you can like disrupt they play, that's good defense. If they see you on the other side, like damn man, and their whole style of play changed, and that's good defense. It's not always steals and blocks. It's not always things you see on the stat line. You know what I'm saying, on the stat sheet. It's just disrupting stuff. You know what I mean? So Vince was never known as a defender, but his game, though, you look at it, I mean, you could say the holes in this game was defense, but outside of that, he had the tools. He had the tools. Some might say lack of heart. I don't know. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, Vince is a player that you look at Vince, you're like, man, he should be a champion. But he isn't. But he played, he had a long career. Vince was solid everywhere he went, you know what I'm saying? But he never kicked it in that next gear. He never kicked it in that other gear. You know what I mean? And it's like, dang, man, because I do agree, like, you know, he could have been better. Like, look, if he'd have put the work in, he probably could have been better than the Cove or something. Because Vince did have his own style. That's the thing. Vince had his own style, you know what I'm saying? Like, he had the size, he had, you know, all that stuff. You know, he was about 6'6", same height as Jordan and Cole, but he had his own style. You know what I mean? Like, his game was smooth. I mean, Vince, he had it all. It didn't seem like, you know, he locked in all the way like that. That's what it seemed like to me, you know what I'm saying? Especially after Toronto. I mean, New Jersey, I mean, Vince was like kind of going down after that. I mean, he had a couple dope games in Orlando. You know what I mean? I think he dropped, I forgot his season high. I think he dropped 50-something in Orlando. So I forgot. You know what I mean? I got to look. But Vince, I mean, if you look at how he played when he was older, it's like, dang, man, like he's still solid. So it's like, I'm not going to say he didn't put the work in. Something was missing. And I think it's that will to win. It's that will to win, because there's no way a guy like Vince, you look at Vince Carter, and it's like, oh, he's not put up there with the great two guards like Kobe Bryant, Jordan, Wade. Vince should be in that category, but he isn't. I don't think he is, because You know, if you look at a D-Wade and all those, they had the will to win. I mean, T-Mac got hurt. But then I think did Jeff Van Gundy say T-Mac had bad practice habits? I don't know if he said that or not. I think he did. I don't know. You know what I mean? But the thing is, those two specifically, you know, T-Mac, he had bad teams. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. And then he got hurt. You know what I mean? Once he was already injury prone, like heavy when he was in Houston. But those two guys, Vince Carter and then T-Mac, they should have been sitting at the table with Kobe Bryant and guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Vince and Allen Iverson, Vince Carter is more skilled than Allen Iverson, bro. But Ivo has the heart, though. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Vince Carter, without a doubt, is more skilled than Allen Iverson. I don't care about the crossover. You know what I'm saying? Vince can shoot better than him. You know what I mean? You can arguably say if you want to, he could drive better than him. You know, he had more ways of scoring than Allen Iverson, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is, Iverson had that heart, though. If Vince had Iverson's heart, dog, I don't know, man. Vince might be, you know, looked at as one of the greatest if he had Iverson's heart, dog. Like, seriously, if he'd have had that, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Vince, I mean, I wish that he would have I wish he would have got a championship as like the lead guy. Could you imagine seeing Vince do all them cold dunks in the finals, bro? Come on, cut it out, man. Vince Carter, one of the best games I've ever seen with my own two eyes to this day. Like, to this day. Raptors Vince? Nah, man. I mean, he had some cold dunks in New Jersey, though. You know what I'm saying? The dunk on Alonzo Mourning, fam. When he did the wraparound dribble and he rolls up, push Alonzo off in the air, and oh my God. Oh, man. You can't talk your way out of that, Zo. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk your way out of that one right there. You got yammed on something serious. Like, it's like, God. Vince, man, one of the greatest. I mean, as far as dunking, he's the greatest dunker of all time. He had the ability to be one of the greatest, but it didn't happen because, I guess you could say, lack of heart. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, Ivo went to the finals before him. You know what I mean? When Vince, I feel like Vince should have been there. He should have been great enough to take the Raptors to the finals. Seriously. I do feel that way. I strongly feel that way. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is, man. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the content. Greatly appreciate it from everybody. Got to start this shift, man. Appreciate everybody listening. Everybody have a good day today at work, and hopefully you have a good week, man. All right, peace.